May I come in, sir?
Please do.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sirs.
You are Mr. DIPENDEA.
Yes, sir.
Please take a seat, Ben.
Thank you, sir.
Please give us a brief introduction.
Sir, I am DIPENDEA. I was born and brought up in Tashiding in West Sikkim, sir. I did my schooling up to class 10th from there itself. And after that, I have done class 12th from Sir Tashi Namgyal Senior Secondary School in Gangtok, sir. Thereafter, I did BE in Civil Engineering from BIT Meshra. And I am currently working as an assistant engineer with Government of Sikkim.
Right. With that kind of a background, engineering, what attracts you to the civil services?
Sir, civil services enables me to work in a more diverse and more areas compared to what I am doing in engineering currently, sir. Sir, it enables me to play more proactive role in planning and development of the projects. Sir, while working, I have realized that civil servants can really bring a lot of change in the way we do things in a government setup. Sir, as an engineer, while my domain is more technical and specific to one project, as a civil servant, I'll be covering more projects and enabling more such projects, sir.
Right. Recently, there's been a lot of controversy about the role of governors. Can you throw some light? What has been happening?
Sir, the dispute is mainly concerned around the discretionary powers of governor. Although, sir, the Constitution under Article 163 gives situational some discretionary power to governor, but there have been some cases such as in Kerala and in Tamil Nadu where there were reports that governor reserved some bills for consideration of president, and sir, according to some experts, that this disturbs the separation of powers and undermines the elected government's authority. Some specific cases are, sir, in Tamil Nadu, the one minister was removed by a governor by a notification which was later withdrawn, and some bills such as exemption of NEET and related to gambling, etc., they were not passed despite considerable time delay, sir.
There's been also a controversy regarding generalists and specialists. You see, for a civil service, like especially with regard to the IAS, the demand has been that more specialists should be inducted rather than generalists. What is your view on this?
Sir, specialists, they are experts in certain domains and definitely they have important role to play. But I believe, sir, that administration is much more complex and it does not work in a narrow domain. And sir, I feel that even civil services and specifically IAS, they are also experts in some area, like experts in administration. And by the time of occupying a higher post, sir, mostly they undergo some sort of training and achieve specialization in a particular field in which they work. So I do not see it as a clear difference between generalists and specialists, sir.
Have you heard of the term Fourth Industrial Revolution?
Yes, sir.
Can you capture its essence in 3 or 4 sentences?
Yes, sir. Sir, the fourth industrial revolution concerns use of internet and interconnected devices called Internet of Things, in which are the machines, they are able to communicate with each other, sir, and there is greater automation and use of artificial intelligence.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Deependra, you come from one of the most beautiful states.
Yes.
And during my visits there basically for bird watching, I didn't find even a speck of waste anywhere on the roads. What motivates the people to keep the state so clean? I'm talking of the state, I'm not talking of even a single city. You go to Himachal Pradesh on any local passes, you will find garbage all around. I didn't find even a cigarette butt. So what motivates them to keep Sikkim so clean?
Sir, people in Sikkim, they are naturally inclined to live with the environment, and so low waste or minimalistic life is a kind of way of life there. Sir, the cultural belief such as praying nature and regarding the mountain deities as sacred, so this has helped in keeping the city clean. Government also has played important role in this, sir. Plastic ban was implemented around nearly 2 decades back, and it has been strictly followed there. And also, sir, the civil society groups like SHGs, they are active there, especially in tourist places. They have formed committees who monitor and track the waste, sir.
All right, but what is the reason that Sikkim is not among the top 10 clean states, and none of the cities in Sikkim finds mention in the cleanest cities in India?
Sir, I am not aware if the rankings they use delta or incremental progress based methods.
How are you placed in terms of ODF? A clean and a small population base should be completely, I think, ODF free.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, Sikkim has achieved ODF free status.
No, it has not.
Oh, sorry, sir, I'll check myself.
Yeah, you can check. Okay. Sikkim gives you one of the most beautiful orchids, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of it?
Yes, sir.
How many species do you have from Sikkim? Can you tell me number of different varieties of orchids that come from? You are a civil engineer. You must be required to do up government buildings or other things. So horticulture is part of civil engineering. You supervise those operations. So can you tell me which are the most rare varieties found there?
Sir, as per my understanding, there are more than 400 orchid varieties, and the dendrobium variety is unique to Sikkim. But sir, I have not gone into details of these.
Oh, okay. Anyway, leave it. While you have taken philosophy,
Yes, sir.
as your option, being a civil engineer, didn't think of going into low cost and earthquake resistant buildings and 3D printing. So my last question to you would be, what is philosophical skepticism?
Sir, philosophical skepticism is the view that there cannot be a certain knowledge, and it sees knowledge and life as something that we cannot definitely say anything about.
Can you define it with reference to Lokayata's philosophy? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Lokayata is also known as Charvak. Okay.
Yes,
You may, okay, Charvaks. All right.
Yes, sir. So Charvaks, they are materialists, and they accept human experience as the perception as the only source of knowledge. So what is beyond perception, such as the subtle elements or sky, they do not accept these things. So it leads to skepticism, because we refuse to go beyond what is available to human perceptions.
Check up on this. All right.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, a civil engineer turned philosopher. I think, therefore I am.
Yes,
What does that mean?
Sir, this quote was given by Descartes, and in his interpretation, it means that my awareness or my self-awareness is the only thing that we can be highly certain about. Like, it is a starting point from which we construct other philosophies. And so, to give a broad interpretation, it means that everything else starts from human existence first, and consciousness or thought is an essential attribute of a human.
What is the difference between nihilism and existentialism?
Sir, existentialists, they treat human existence and the problems concerning human existence, such as sir, responsibility, and these are the central concerns of existentialists. But so nihilists, they are kind of they deny things. For example, sir, nihilists, they say that life has no meaning and that is certain. So there is a very close connection between them, sir.
Which school of philosophy you believe in?
Sir, I have found merits in almost all the schools, and
if you give one choice, then how you consider what type of person you are? Which philosophy you
Sir,
want
Buddhism.
to live life with?
Sir, Buddhism.
Buddhism. What is so special about Buddhism? What is the traits of Buddhism? What does Buddhism say?
Sir, it teaches us about a middle path in life, that we should avoid the extremes in our views also and in our life also. And sir, it teaches dependent origination, that we should not see ourselves or anything as certain or beyond or like superpowers, or we should not say that we are the greatest beings. We are dependent upon causes, and we are also finite. And it also teaches compassion for all creatures.
How your knowledge of philosophy will help you in administration?
Sir, philosophy teaches us the ideals towards which we can move. And in administration also, I feel, sir, various schemes of government, they directly or indirectly aim towards achieving those ideals, such as equality, social justice, etc. And sir, philosophy teaches us the importance of human dignity and human welfare, which is also the aim of administration, sir.
Okay, you have been participating in declamation contests and debates and all.
Yes, sir.
I give you a topic, you speak 30 seconds in favor of that, 30 seconds against that. Institution of marriage has lost its relevance. Please speak 30 seconds, both sides.
Sir, can I take a moment and
Yes.
think? Sir, marriage is a social institution. It is a socially approved union between male and a female. Sir, we can argue that it has lost its relevance in the present times because of newer forms of cohabitation that is coming up. People are living in live-in relationships, and the rate of divorce, they have increased in the society. So marriage as a sacred ritual, as a sacred union, it has lost its relevance that way. And also people are resorting to, apart from the ritualistic side, people are resorting to court marriages, and it has become a formal and more a legal union. So to argue against that, marriage has not lost its relevance. I would say that despite that these forms of marriages are there, but if we see the function of marriage, then it is still the same. For example, in doing any havan, etc., then people, they, as a husband and wife, they come together, and only sir, the structural form is changing, but the intention behind it and the core philosophical aspect of it has not changed.
Okay, one last thing with it. Is marriage a contract? Is marriage, can you say marriage is a contract between the two persons?
Sir, we can say that it is a contract.
How? Define that.
Sir, in Hindu rituals, there is a concept called Saat Feras, in which husband and wife, they agree to be bound by a certain set of practices. Sir, it is in Hindi, it is called Agni ko Sakshi Mankar. They do that. And sir, in other religions, such as in Islam also, there is a concept of meher and various a sort of contract agreement between the parties.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
How do you distinguish between philosophy and ideology?
Sir, philosophy is much wider than ideology. Philosophy evaluates the ideologies critically. It is not concerned with one particular ideology, and it is a rational and a logical analysis. But ideology is only one domain in philosophy which is committed towards that ideology, sir.
What's a moral philosophy?
Sir, moral philosophy, it deals with human ethics, values, and its analysis, sir.
So the other name for ethics is moral philosophy. Is that what you are saying?
Sir, as per my understanding, there is slight difference between those two. Morals, they are concerned with individual human and their concept of rightness and wrongness. But ethics is more broader. There can be social ethics, professional ethics, and individual ethics.
Now that you are going into details of ethics, meta ethics, normative ethics, applied ethics. Can you distinguish?
Sir, I am not very sure, but I'd like to try answering you. Sir, meta ethics means studying about ethics, like it is about the ethics itself. And normative ethics deals with like what should be done, like what should be human actions. And applied ethics, it is it sees what action is ethical in a particular circumstance or particular setting.
Fair enough. Is it fair to club Sikkim with the Northeast?
Yes, sir, I feel it is right. Sir, because of similar challenges in the region, that it is not connected well with the rest of the country, and the challenges such as hilly terrain and vulnerability to disasters, they are common to northeastern to other
Then
northeastern.
the same thing will apply to Himachal Pradesh and J&K and Uttarakhand, etc. Why not club it with them?
Yes, sir. So due to these factors, there is a special provision for hilly states in terms of allocation of government funds. But sir, due to geographical location, I feel they are not clubbed.
Now, as somebody who has done civil engineering, if I ask you to rehabilitate a slum, what would you do?
Sir, firstly, I'll take a survey of the area. I'll find out how many dwelling units are required, and sir, in order to avoid any backlash from the people, I'll try to take them into confidence that in place of their currently the kacha houses, more better and prominent houses will be given.
How would you know what is better for them?
Sir, through consultation and dialogue with them, that they have to be taken into confidence before that.
What exactly is a slum?
Sir, there was a committee which had given technical definition that I'm not
I just
able
want
to.
your definition.
Sir, slum is a place where people are dwelling in a cramped locality where there are no proper housing and infrastructure facilities, and usually it is unsanitary and unhygienic. Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dipender, you were just discussing about Buddhism. And you follow Buddhist philosophy. Buddha left his wife and son at midnight, right? Yes, he attained liberation and all, but don't you think it's wrong? What's your perspective on this?
Sir, for a normal human being, it is wrong to leave one's family like that. But sir, I see Lord Buddha as someone who is beyond mortal human, and sir, he had a cause of alleviating suffering of humanity as a whole. And sir, after he attained enlightenment, he did go back, and in fact, sir, his wife was one of the first nun included in Buddhism, sir. So, sir, he did not completely abandon them. It was for a mission, and after that, he went back.
So, do you think for this idea of liberation, it is necessary to leave the family and all?
Sir, it is not necessary.
What's the philosophy of liberty?
Liberty means, sir, to be free from all the restraints or constraints that one faces externally as well as internally, sir.
Okay, negative and positive liberty. Can you differentiate?
Yes, sir. Sir, negative liberty is a very narrow connotation where if an individual is free from the external chains or restraints, then a person is said to be free. But positive liberty goes beyond it. And
Give an example also. Practical example.
Yes, sir. Sir, if a person is jailed inside a jail, then freedom is restricted, so he is not free. But sir, positive liberty is it is a positive notion in which there is availability of conditions which enables an individual to develop their personality. For example, having good health, education facilities, so that individual can realize their personal best.
Okay. Can you tell me the Stoic philosophy of euthanasia?
Sir, I am aware of Stoic philosophy, but
Not
regarding
specifically
that,
on euthanasia.
not specifically.
Okay. What do you think of euthanasia?
Sir, I feel that passive euthanasia can be allowed, but also that has to be in rarest of the rare cases, because sir, I feel that there is potential of it being misused, so it should not normally be resorted to. Sir.
Okay. My last question, you were discussing about the institution of marriage. You use the term meher.
Yes.
Meher. है ना? And recently there is a term khula, which is in news. Are you aware of it?
Sorry, sir, I am not aware.
Khula. You are not aware of it.
Not aware.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
How many mocks have you taken?
So this is the first.
This is the first. How many do you intend to take?
Sir, not many. Maximum 2 or 3.
Good, because, well, I would suggest that once your date comes, then you could go in for 1 or 2. But prior to that, you'd be better off, I think, doing your preparations, and we'll be giving you some practical tips on that. But what is your assessment of your performance today?
Sir, one thing I felt was like it became a question answer type of session. So maybe I could be more engaging in conversation.
Well, the good news is that you are a very promising candidate, very good candidate, because bear in mind, this is not a test of knowledge per se. It's a test of your personality, and we are looking for officer-like abilities, qualities. So even that last question, khula, it's in the news because Sania Mirza has used it as a divorce for her divorce with regard to Shoaib Malik. So that's a test of seeing how aware you are of what's happening around you, because one of the main characteristics of a good civil servant is how aware he is of himself, his district, his state, the nation, the world. Right? So, what are they looking for? The panelists are looking, as I said, for officer-like qualities. The first is integrity. So don't guess. If you don't know it, you don't know it. That's not a crime. And you're not expected to know everything. They're looking for balanced opinions. They're looking for conceptual clarity. They're looking for lucid exposition. Right? They're looking for logical thinking. They're looking for self-confidence and poise. So if you don't know a question, just don't allow it to impact your future your future performance. Just take it in your stride and move on. And they're looking to see whether you fit in that overall concept of a good officer. So when you come in from that point onwards, you should radiate that positivity. When you sit down, you should unbutton your coat. Your socks have to be of the same color as your trousers. Right?
Sure.
Completely clean shaven, hair neatly combed. Right?
Yes.
All that because you want to give a good first impression.
Yes.
And you have a good height, you have a good physique, you have a pleasant personality, so you have got everything going for you. Now what you need to do is take about 100 to 120 of these A4 size sheets. And when you sit, your back should be aligned to the back of the chair, spine should be aligned there. Relaxed pose. Take these 100 to 120 sheets. Think of the possible questions that can come your way. They come from DAP, they come from current events, they come from your job, they come from your subjects, right? You would have seen 90% of all that we talked about today came from these. And then for each topic, do a deep dive. Cover the topic in its entirety and then make bullet points, 4 or 5. And sit in front of a mirror or videograph yourself and practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect, as they say, right? Now, I'll give you an example of how to tackle one particular question which came your way, and I use that as a kind of exemplar. Industrial Revolution 4.0. I asked you for 3 or 4 sentences. First sentence, popularized by Klaus Schwab, founder of the World Economic Forum in 2016. This is where your bullet points come in. It indicates the blurring of the lines between the physical, digital and biological worlds. Now, this is the crux, this is the meat of the thing, this is the definition. And if you miss this, then it means that you have not managed to get the whole thing in perspective. You have not managed to cover it in the way it should be covered. And finally, some of the groundbreaking technologies include AI, gene editing and advanced robotics.
Sure.
You can use the Internet of Things also out here if you feel like. But you get the point.
Yes.
In 3 sentences, you have nailed it. After that, there will be no more questions. But if you waffle about, the way you framed the answer, it was not incorrect, but it was not structured. And it missed some vital elements. So, the point is, you make a huge impact or you make a very average kind of, you feel that this gentleman knows something, but he is not able to nail it. That is the difference.
Sure.
Prioritization is very important. I asked you why the civil services. You said diversity. That is personal to you. It should be, sir, this is one area, one career choice where I can make a maximum impact on public welfare. And India's growth story, I will be able to contribute to that. How? By engaging with citizens on a one-to-one basis and solving their problems in the initial stages and helping in formulation of public policy later on. Finally, your voice modulation. Don't keep it at an even, monotonous tone. You're seeing how I am speaking?
Sure.
With passion. Jazba, as they say. Show that you're desperate to get in, because not for yourself, not because it gives you diversity, but because of the public impact. Any questions from your side?
Sir, in questions like Industrial Revolution, sir, if I know about it, if I have studied about it, then I feel I can give the proper definition and structure. Sir, but there will be many things that I have not studied recently. So, how to do that?
It's always best to talk about to the extent you know. But this whole thing, your confidence level depends on how well you are prepared. No one can predict what's going to come, right? So don't be too fussed about all this. Do your best, prepare the way we've told you, and you'll definitely do very well. Don't let self-doubt come in the way.
Sure.
Go there with that passion. I'm going to ace this interview, and you will ace it.
Sure. Sir,
Best
one more question.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, like my naturally way of speaking is in low voice, or if I increase it, then will it not be like shouting?
That's where the practice before the mirror comes in, and videographing comes. Ask someone to videograph you while you're speaking, and that will give you an idea.
Can I take a minute?
Please.
Yeah. All right. Deependra, congratulations for an outstanding interview, being your first mock. How many attempts have you had at the civil service?
So this is my last attempt.
This is your last means how many? Sixth attempt.
Yes.
Okay. Let's hope that you nail it. Right?
Thank you, sir.
And the voice modulation and all those things you can practice. But let one thing be very clear to you. We are practicing voice modulation as seasoned and retired pros. okay, in the field. Maybe when I was your age, I didn't have that. Maybe I had because I worked for radio for 10 years, but I don't expect everyone to have that kind of modulation in day-to-day conversations, right? Your focus ought to be on the content that you convey. When you have the content and conviction, modulation will automatically come in. Instead of talking for longer time, you should focus on making your answers very concise and to the point. You need to practice that. And as he said that you prepare a question bank of about 120. So only write down the bullet points, not prose. So that the bullet point, you should not be missing the bullet points. One is not interested in listening to some good prose. One wants good replies, good conversation, engagement in conversation, right? But one good thing that I noticed was throughout the conversation, whether you were right or you could not answer properly, you were unruffled. It didn't show on your conversation on the next topic. So that's something very positive with you. So build on it, and I think you are, as he said, and we all feel, you are a very good candidate this year. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have covered everything. Now you have been on stage, declamation contest. How you speak, you modulate voice. That is why declamation speech is good.
Yes.
So that you already know. But only thing, pitch of voice should be depending on the number of audience. Speaking on stage is different, speaking in the room is different. But then modulation you must be knowing very well. Declamation, I used to participate in debates, declamation. I know very well what modulation means in a stage. You cannot speak in monotonous tone in declamation contest. Did you speak?
No.
Then where is the hitch? Try to practice that for the mirror. You already have it in you. Okay?
Sure. Thank you, sir.
You're good as you are.
Absolutely.
Outstanding interview. That's all I'd say.
Everybody has covered everything. Wonderful. Work on your socks and the shoes part.
Sir, actually my interview date is not out, so
Okay.
I haven't brought it like.
Otherwise you
but
are,
whenever you give a mock, it should be as though it is an actual interview with the board. You should go with that image, that preparation, and with that conviction that this is going to be how I actually interact.
otherwise you are very well dressed.
Being old
Light
school,
colors of
I
shirt
will
and
prefer
tie.
laced shoes. Okay. Yeah. Being old school, I'll prefer laced shoes. Than
But
It's a
okay.
formal setting.
yeah.
This blue color dye dress is perfectly okay. Depending on the weather when you get the interview.
खून आपा ना करिए पर
Fine, wish you all the best.
ठीक है? All the best.
You're very good.
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Thank you.
and no brown belt. No brown belt with a it's on with brown shoes with a blue navy blue suit. That is the trend, but not for
Formal
old
interview.
people who are not in sync with modern times.
Good
Right.
black.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.